the 2 winners of the handmade scarf giveaway. And the winners are, I used random.org to pick these folks. Heather Ward wins the cream scarf, and Debbie Schallenberger Gerald Garrison wins the maroon scarf. So be sure to check your Facebook messages. It might be in that odd other folder that Facebook has created in the messages, I don't know. So check both of those and there will be a message from me in there so you can send me your address. So congratulations to the 2 winners. If you did not win and you still want to make a scarf, I'm going to show you how to do it. So check the links below. There will be 2 links, one to eBay, one to Amazon, and both will have really great deals on thick yarn that you can just order from home, have it shipped to you, and make one of these handmade scarves. So let's get started. For your scarf, you're going to need 2 skeins of yarn, and it needs to be 6 weight or higher than that. You want it to be really super bulky. So take your 2 ends of the yarn and you're going to create a tail. So pull 3 or 4 times, not quite 3 or 4 yards, but pretty close to that. Just kind of eyeball it. And that's your little tail. And it'll get smaller. So just kind of throw that aside and create a slip knot. So all you're going to do is turn the yarn on top of itself and pull the center section through. And that is the first stitch of your scarf. So you're just going to put that on your right arm, and then the tail here is on the right, the working yarn is on the left, and you're just going to create your first little stitch. You're casting on your arm right now. These are your arms are your knitting needles. So I'm going to do that again. This is kind of probably the hardest part, is just getting it started. So your tail is on the right, that little piece of yarn there. The working yarn is on the left, the part that's attached to the skeins. You're going to take your left hand and do little pinchers, kind of creating bunny ears here a little bit. And you're going to go underneath the loop on your left thumb and then underneath the loop where your first finger is in your left hand. And you're just casting on your arm right now. That's basically all you're doing. And you're gonna do this, you know, anywhere between, I'd say 8 and 12 times. I normally do between 10 and 11, depending on how bulky my yarn is. So now that I have cast on my right arm here, I'm ready to go. So I've got my little yarn bundles to the left. That little tail, see, that kind of shortened up quite a bit. So I'm going to hold the working yarn in my right hand, take my left hand and pull the first double stitch over top of my right hand. And you can see that I'm kind of creating a loop there with my right hand. I'm going to take my left hand and put it around the back, coming toward me, and then just kind of pull the working yarn down a little bit, just to make it a little snug, but not too tight. You want to be able to freely be able to move your hands in and out of these stitches here. So I'm going to do the exact same thing I just did for every single double stitch that's on my right arm. So I'm just going to take that second double stitch here with my left hand and pull it over top of my right hand, creating a loop now with the working yarn, and I'm going to stick my left hand through that, and then I just keep doing the same exact thing. Going to do the same exact thing I just did on the other side. So I just pulled the stitch over my left hand and I'm sticking my right hand through. So holding the working yarn with the left hand, using my right hand to pull the stitch over top of my left hand, and then with that newly created loop, sticking my right hand through that. And then I just keep going. And don't worry if some of your stitches are a little bit bigger than others. When you pull and stretch the scarf, you won't even know. It'll totally take care of it. My scarf now is at the proper length, so I'm going to finish it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly what I just did for 2 stitches. Now once I have those 2 stitches on my arm, I am going to take this first stitch that I put on, the one closest to my elbow, and I'm going to pull it over top of my hand, which is over top of that second stitch there, and then I'm just going to let it go, much like the Disney song. And then I'm just going to pull the working yarn just to snug it up a little tiny bit, and I'm going to keep doing the same thing. So I'm just going to pull 1 stitch over, and then take the stitch that is closest to my elbow, pull it over top of my hand, and drop it. And continue on until I have no more yarn left. I'm now on the last stitch, so I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm doing the last one there, pulling it over top of my hand. All right, so the very last one I have, I'm going to do the same thing, pull it over top of the working yarn, but don't drop the working yarn yet, because you're going to have to tie it off. So just kind of pull the working yarn a little bit to kind of tighten the little knot. It's kind of like a slip knot, I suppose. Then I'm just going to take my scissors and cut the working yarn so it will no longer be working. And then I'm just going to pull that little new tail through that loop until it's snug. And then I'm going to knot it. I don't want this to come apart. After all that work, I want it to be secure. So now in order for my scarf to become an infinity scarf, I am going to take the 2 ends and put them together, and I'm just going to whip stitch the ends together with the tail. And it doesn't have to be pretty. This is, not really going to be seen. It just needs to be looped around enough to keep it together. Alright guys, that's it. I hope you enjoy making one of these arm scarves. Again, check the links below for really great deals on yarn, and I'll see you again very soon. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye!